Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to another matchday ticket with me, the host, the governor, in the virtual Talking Town bar. The pints hopefully will soon start to flow, as well as the points. Paul Lambert has today described this game as, we've got to get a result. Got to get a result, were his words. So let's see what happens. The team news is out. We'll get into that very shortly. As always, we welcome you all and we ask for your comments in the chat, and I'll put those on the screen like so. From Nathan Cuts here, afternoon fellow Blue Army. Stephen Parry, how's all things? Andrew Laws, welcome in. Get those comments in, guys. Get your thoughts on the team news. Thoughts on Lambert describing it as a got to get a result type game. And yeah, just tell us all how you're feeling this afternoon. Before we welcome in our two contributors, the only two people I 110% know will be on the show this afternoon. First of all, Stuart, happy birthday to you, my friend. Happy birthday. I hope you have a great day. I hope Town don't ruin it too much. And I hope that we can deliver some points. Unless, of course, you want Lambert out and maybe you don't want points today. I don't know. Let us know as we go through this afternoon. So, who's our first contributor joining us? Well, first of all, let's bring in a woman that's never shy of an opinion. We love her for it.
Sleigh bells ringing, diamonds blinging, carols singing.
We are wearing a shirt.
Sleigh bells ringing, diamonds blinging, carols singing. Favorite season. They just saying it, but you got a bit in that bag, yeah. I got racks in my
Bang fucking on.
I've got to get around to changing some music on those intros, but I'm just too busy at the moment giving autographs out, because I am the Z-list celebrity of us all. Fake accounts galore. Amy, how are you?
I'm all good, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Looking forward to today's match day?
I'm looking forward to chatting with you two.
Thank you. And I think I said that on my Twitter. I'm not going to get into too much Twitter this afternoon, but I said that today. The game itself might be a bit poor, but I'm really enjoying getting together with all you Town fans, talking the Super Blues, and just having it really. And big up Emerson Felder for his donation this morning. Thank you ever so much. Stuart Codling, I want the point, and I still want Lambert out. Simon Harris, afternoon all, another entertaining 9 minutes away. Well, we couldn't do this afternoon without truth, and of course you can't have truth without the hard truth. The only downs we need on a match day is Amy, says Callie. And, for those that want a little peek behind the curtain, I played those intros today because I wanted this coffee and I just spilt it down myself. And so I'm warm and fuzzy. Cruncher, how you doing?
I can beat that. I've just knocked my bottle of cider everywhere, and it's caused absolute mega drama in the house because it went all over my other half side of the bed where he hasn't tidied up his Christmas presents and his underwear for the last 3 weeks. So it's all his clean washing, all his dirty washing, and all his Christmas presents absolutely covered in cider. And I've only got one bottle of Asphalls for the afternoon.
So if we were in a pub, we'd all be going, hey! Yeah. Brilliant. Martin, you leave Amy's curtains alone. I didn't think I was... Huh?
Oh, behind the curtains.
I'm with you. Cruncher, how you doing? You all right? You well?
I'm liking the mini cheddars, cheese and steak. Sticks, look at them. Perfect. Daniel Barnard, look, there they are. No nuts in there today, mate.
Daniel, talk about Daniel. Wolfenden says that how it is and gets dropped. We'll get into that in a second. Ben King, fancy a Jaeger, Amy. Town to win 2-0. Yes. Do we have our Jaeger bombs as a bomb, or do we have them straight, by the way, before we get into the team news?
Depends. Usually a bomb, unless you're playing spoof.
Cruncher, do you have it with Red Bull, or do you have it straight?
I'm on dry January. I'm on dry January anyway, so... There you go.
Okay. Right. Into...
I'm not going to try anything while we've got...
Boring sod. Right. Team... Oh, hang on. I've got the team news. That's what the team is to do. That is the wrong graphic, Lambert. What are you doing? It's gone to your head. Look at that. All this fame and glory. Right. We've got the team here. It is Holy, Chambers, NCR, and McGuinness, Ward, Downs, Lizelle, Bishop, Edwards, Judge, and Norwood. Can you smell that? I think it's desperation. I think it's a manager so desperate for a result. This is almost Paul Hurst against Norwich vibes when he's dropped Bart and he's just, what are you doing? Who wants to kick us off with this? Because I'm just, what?
Go on, Amy.
I'm the same as you. I don't know what to say. I just before I kicked my cider everywhere, I was trying to talk to my mates about what is the logic behind dropping Wolfie. What on earth is the logic? Like,
he's not been playing well. Everyone can say it's because of the interview, but if you watch the last few games, he hasn't played well at all. He hasn't. Look, personally, I would have dropped McGuinness.
I don't think we have as a team, to be fair. I'm not sure I would have singled Wolfie out.
But McGuinness, for me, he's not our player. He was the one who should have gone. Wolfie should still be playing. Absolutely.
I completely agree with that. I mean, I've got no problems with Toto coming back into the team. I know probably Matt Phillips is somewhere screaming into his pillow.
Callie's happy. Callie's loving it.
But I've got no problems with Toto coming back in. We've not been playing well at the back. However, Mark McGuinness is not our player. Luke Wolfenden was talked about big money in the summer. You don't drop investments when you're a League One side. You just don't. Like you let them play through those. I'm going to call them development issues. You know, he's developing as a player. Form drops off. You have to work through that and come through the other side to be a better professional, whether that's for us or somebody else. Dropping him is just, that's more for me. You two can tell me the answer to this. That's a manager exerting his will, and maybe the curtain was pulled back a little bit too far after that interview.
Well, it wasn't just that interview. There was another one in the week, wasn't there? And he was quite outspoken there as well. And look, he was everything that he said. I think there was more that he wanted to say personally, but everything he said was true. So I don't know if Lambert's dropped him because of them comments. I would doubt it, but with our manager, you never know. I want to talk about the goalie, Martin. Why has he dropped Cornell? You know, what's he done wrong?
What has he done anything wrong? Exactly.
He's done jack shit wrong, quite frankly. But it's the Gherkin and Bart situation. It's the manager not really knowing who's better, what's better, and just needing a result. You know, he called it himself.
The goals last weekend, wasn't one of them? Didn't the commentator say on one of them that he probably could have done better?
Maybe the third one, it was whipped in, wasn't it? But he's probably anticipating that touch from Pittman. And he's not got a lot of time. I wouldn't lay the blame at him for any of the goals, you know.
No, agreed.
Even in any of
them.
Has he let in any howlers, Amy? Because I haven't seen it.
The only person who made a really big mistake last week was Chambo.
Standard. Won a game.
Well, I know, but it happened. I also still think he's one of the better players in our side. But anyway, that's a different conversation for a different day.
If he's one of the better players.
There's three guaranteed things in life: death, taxes, and a Chambo mistake. And then we'll get it at some point today. It's just how catastrophic it might be for the team.
But Chambo's still there, so if Wolfie and Cornell have been dropped for one mistake, then it doesn't seem very fair, does it? I think you're right. I think it's more about him panicking.
I just look at the team and it is, and one thing I'm not concerned about, Crunch, and a lot of people seem to be, is fitness. I firmly believe if these players were not fit enough, they wouldn't start. I don't think we're that type of football club. I really don't. The physio team have a lot to say. I mean, he hooked Jackson in a game he was losing 1-0.
You can say they're fit. They're not match fit. Bishop, Edwards, when did they last played a competitive game? They've not even played a 23s game. So to come in today, Norwood, Downs, I know they played 45 minutes last weekend. Would Norwood and Downs last weekend have come on at half time? If we were winning, probably not. They might have eased them in for the last 15 minutes. But if you look at that team today, it's probably barring Kane Vincent old, because he's going to be Kane Vincent old when he comes back, because he's...
Kane Vincent sold.
It's the strongest 11 that we've got available.
Do you know how many times I've heard that joke this week? And every time the person who said it has a little chuckle, thinking they're really clever. And it's about the 10 millionth time I've heard of it.
Oh,
very witty, Richard. Very witty.
So, into midfield then. Downs, Dozell, good to see Downs back.
Definitely.
It's always good to
Yeah.
see Downs.
I'm quite excited because I've been. Let's be honest. I've been sort of taking a sledgehammer to poor Andre. I've been, tearing him down and saying he's not as good as maybe people in this chat make him out to be. But I've also said he is one player that's really, really missing out from having Downs next to him.
Yeah,
So today is a great opportunity for Downs to do the dirty work and Andre to really, against what is poor opposition or should be on paper, spray that ball around.
Depends where he plays him, though, Martin, because if he's going to sit deep, I think you're wasting his passing range he's got, because the opposition can give him the ball and he'll keep it and it'll be tidy. He needs to play at least another 20 yards further forward so he can put them balls through. Because I think at the minute, but like you say, he's not had Downs beside him. But today with that midfield, it's probably the strongest we've got available, probably other than John Nolan, Martin.
Oh, fuck off. Fuck off. Ronald McDonald in midfield, it would be better than... No, I'm not having it. Kevin Ellis, to be honest, I'm okay him starting the players as we have 5 subs available. It's a fair point. The Fisherman's in the building. We win. The fans will say it's one of our strongest sides and that Lambert hasn't had them, and that's why we've been struggling. But that's a fair comment, is it not? He's not had a settled, consistent, strong side.
We had
I
it
don't
last
think
year.
we can ignore that.
We had it last season. What happened?
We were romping the league and then injuries happened.
When? Last year?
Yeah.
Not really. I'm not using that excuse last season. It was nowhere
Not for
near.
you?
Hey?
Not as bad.
Not for you?
Not for me, mate. Not for me.
There he is. Facebook user, you're probably right. Anything possible with management team. Hope you get sacked sooner rather than later. Bishop, did he deserve to come just walk straight back into the team? Have we seen enough from Teddy Bishop to say, if he's fit, he's a guaranteed nailed-on starter over a Lancaster, over a Dobra, who isn't even in the 18?
You've got a feel for them, haven't you? Lancaster and Dobra, Dobra particularly, who'd been doing well lately. But I've definitely got cynical, grumpy Amy out today because I can't help but think it's the January transfer window.
Well, Cruncher, you heard something, didn't you, about Jackson?
I've heard a couple of rumours. Jackson's off. He's off to Bournemouth.
I will be going with him, I tell you.
Is it like we chatted off air before? Is he really good enough for Bournemouth's first team? Not in my opinion. Not in your opinion, Martin. I don't think he'd be a squad player if he went there. But really, this season, have we seen the best of him? No. He's had a lot of injuries when he's played. Obviously, last week he played on the right. I see your comments, I think, yesterday on Twitter, Martin. Someone was saying he was awful last Saturday. And I agree with you. He wasn't awful.
Poor Luke.
He was just playing out of position, I think. He was like a fish out of water, and he was probably told to stay on that touchline, stay wide. But we can get back to what these players are told to play a certain way. But where is the thinking on your feet when you're on the pitch? Thinking outside the box. This isn't working. It comes down to it's easy to say it's the manager, but the players have to take responsibility. They can't keep hiding. They have to step up today with that lineup that we've got. There's no excuses not to get a result today. I'm not having he's not fit, he's not played any games. No, they're playing. Like you say, if they're fit, they should be in the first 11 because it's no point in them sitting on the bench if they're not fit. If they're fit, they play.
Yeah. The Jackson thing's interesting though, really, because we've had it with Alan Judge, right? If he had come into the team last week, Jackson, and had spent most of his time in the centre of the pitch, everyone would have been crying, he doesn't hold the position, we had no width. He holds the position, everyone's crying he's not playing centrally. Like, he was told to play wide right, he stuck to his position really well, had an assist in the game. He did his job well. He wasn't the reason why we lost that football match. And I had no problem with his heat map showing how wide he was. He was a winger. But
I do agree with Joe Fairs in the week was saying about the two wide lads last week. They offered no protection. We can all batter Stephen Ward and Luke Chambers, but the two people in front of him, Dobra and Jackson, they offered the fullbacks no protection at all. You've got to look at that first goal. Jackson's 20 yards behind their left back. But you can spin it the other way and say, Jackson, that isn't his natural position. You don't want him chasing the fullback that way. He wants to be going the other way, where he can do the damage up the pitch.
isn't that just proof that he's playing the wrong formation, though?
Well,
Yes.
Like, as has come up a lot in the comments, Jackson has not been played in his. He was good-ish by League One standards last year because he was playing well with Norwood up front, the two of them together. This year he has not measured up because A, he's a massive injury, and B, he has been played up front or his own or on the wing, which is.
Oh, hang on. Hawkins is not a solid target man. He's dog shit. Sorry.
That's a fair point. But I do agree with Emmy there. You say, Rich...
I love your rational responses, Rich. You're so good.
Rubbish, Amy. He's one of the worst strikers I've ever seen at the club. He's awful. This is why we are where we are, because we're relying on people like Ollie Hawkins and Alan Drinan, and they're nowhere near good enough.
I've scored as many goals as Drinan has.
Crap.
I don't think Hawkins was the problem. I think it was the service that was the problem.
As Left on Drive says, he's no Rory Fallon, which is a joke in itself because Fallon at the time wasn't good enough for us. But actually, I'd take Rory Fallon over Hawkins every day of the week. I'll tell you what, though, Crunch, you say about players needing to adapt in the game. What Amy says there about the formation is very true. And we've seen in the press this week Lambert saying he was changing systems for system's sake, and he got advice and he's now learnt from those lessons. But what we're seeing now is a manager that's not adaptable. He's not adapting the approach to the players because he's now hell-bent on not changing.
He's stubborn, isn't he? Very stubborn. He's digging his heels in. But
There's so much Mick McCarthy about him, isn't there? Digging his heels in, making random changes, taking digs at the fans. It's Mick McCarthy part 2, except without the actual us doing well and getting to the playoffs part.
Yeah. There's been no success there.
Although, like the style of football, where is that come from? Is that from the manager or is that from the owner?
That's from the owner, I believe.
Plan, isn't it?
I believe it's from the owner. I think the owner has set down this path, and this is where we are. We read in the summer about him being more. I think it was more hands-on.
Yeah, that scared me when I heard that.
It did me as well. Didn't Matt Phillips? But you two ITFC gone from plans A to Z, just plan A only. Skip intro. Hawkins looks dog shit because he's been played as a lone striker. No. Kevin Ellis, it's from someone who has no fucking clue how to win games. Facebook user, the club's run by a dictator, doesn't matter what anyone thinks. Lots of love for the owner. Google user, Lambert got Norwich promoted without all the crap we give him. Sorry?
Norwich fan.
Let him be a Norwich fan, that's fine. But I also think he was more backed by the ownership at Norwich. I don't ever see Norwich.
Well. Yeah, players around him at Norwich.
Well, yeah, but I don't. Yeah, exactly. And then, yeah. Well, there we go. Which should we mention the Kieran Dyer comments as it's been brought on to Norwich very quickly? Obviously, Dyer this week saying, "Well, Amy, fill us in. What did Dyer say?"
I think he was on 5 Live, wasn't he? And they were talking about Steve Bruce. Correct me if I'm wrong. At Newcastle.
Yeah.
And how he said he's a Newcastle, like he's a local or whatever, but he's obviously been a Sunderland manager before. So and Dyer perfectly, very eloquently, I thought, explains that the fans are never ever going to accept him because he is from their rivals, and how could he ever? Once you've sort of loved one club, you couldn't love another. And the clip opens with Dyer saying, I'm on my journey to become a coach. I would never, ever take the Norwich City job. And
don't you think he's being clever, though, with his comments? Because he must know at the minute how the fans are feeling at town. He must know that. So I think he's been a little bit clever there because he knows. Everyone,
also, he'd like the same as sorry, I don't know why I do it with you. I keep talking over you. I don't really shut up, Richard. I'll talk now. Chef Kikuchi did the same. Was that when towards the end of Hurst? There was a lot of interviews with Chef Kikuchi at the time. But is it not just that the clubs are picking it would make sense if you're talking about Newcastle that you would contact Kieran Dyer, especially if you're talking about like rivalry and things. So, and he's a bit of a BBC, he's a bit of a TV media fan, isn't he? The TV editors like Dyer, so I feel like he would just be someone that's in their contact book. He's linked to Newcastle because he used to play for them, and he's got this great example of Ipswich Norwich being a massive rivalry. I'm not sure I see it quite so cynically as that, but that is definitely the
it's politics at its finest
on the way.
It's politics at its finest. Like, in the next 5 years, will Norwich, what's the likelihood of them ever wanting Kieran Dyer as their manager? 0%, maybe 2%. So it's okay to rule out one club. Like, when you know you're here and they're trending upwards and you're just starting your journey. It's not like he's talking from a level of parity and he can say with all certainty. Like, it's just...
Of course he can, but would you ever work for Norwich? I wouldn't.
Bloody, I wouldn't rule it out, mate. Why not? Why not? If they're paying the Queen's note, I'll work for anybody.
I'm uncomfortable with the thought of one day working for Leeds. I purposely avoid making contact with people from Leeds because I met one guy who works for them when I was out on a night out, and I was just like, that's like. I told him what I did, and I was like, no, I really don't want to work for you. So normally I'd be jumping straight on LinkedIn and making a connection afterwards, but no way. I don't want to work for Leeds. I'd hate my job. I don't want to work for Norwich. I'd hate my job. You can't work for a club you don't
I
like.
just like Elizabeth Fry's, all right? And if they're paying, I'm playing. But back to today's team. Right, it's 8 minutes to the game. Burton are... Oh...
Sorry.
Taxi for Amy.
By the way, Martin.
Sorry?
Sunderland are winning 3-0. They're gone above us.
Lovely.
Right.
New manager bounce. There you go.
Lovely. That said, I don't even have Didier Smith cookbooks in the house, and if someone makes it with a recipe from the cookbook, I don't eat it. I refuse to eat it.
My mum does it every Christmas.
No, I refuse. I refuse. No. And I refuse to go to Norwich.
One of my boys trained at Norwich. He trained for their academy.
That's true.
Every
but
year,
that's different. That's their future.
Yeah, but every year the wife says, "Let's go to Norwich for a day out shopping." And I'm like, "No, not a chance am I putting money in that city."
Shopping in Ipswich, 100%.
But I love Ipswich. Anyway, right, an own goal guaranteed today. Are we going to get a penalty from Enciala today? Do you feel, guys? Do you think we're going to get a goal conceded through a penalty? I'll ask the Matt Phillips question. Don't worry.
No, I think he's going to have a solid game.
He should do. It's his sort of competition.
He's played some decent games this season. I know he's made mistakes, and everyone will say, "Oh, look, you're going mad." He has made some mistakes, but then so has everybody. Chambers makes them on a weekly basis. He still plays, so let's see how he gets on.
I love in Norwich. You're not missing much.
It's true. It's true. Who needs a big game? I always ask a question. Who needs a big game today? I'll kick it off. Alan Judge. I need to see a second game in a row of consistently high quality.
Where is he playing, Martin?
It does not matter. I think he'll play wide left. Wide left.
Look where he played last week, and look how well he played. And that is where he should play.
He played behind the striker.
Play every single week. Number 10.
He won't with Bishop in the squad though, unless you're going to move Bishop out of position. But either way, I want to see a good game. I don't want to see a flash in the pan, one-time performance. I want to see a consistently high performance from one of our higher earners. Amy, Rich, who needs a big game from you guys?
Norwood for me. I think if you're going to get picked out of all those strikers and put ahead of all of those people and have Jackson dropped in to let you in, then you need to be proving that you're meant to be there. Also, like you said, Dazelle, it's a chance for him to prove he can play with Downs.
Big time. Crunch?
1 to 11. All of them today.
Pop out.
No, all of them today need to step up. They all need to step up and prove that we are a better team than Burton. Come on, Martin. They've conceded 12 goals in their last 3 home games. And I know they've got a new manager, Jimmy Floyd, and they're going to have that bounce. They won 1-0 at Gillingham last week. But they're bottom of the league for a reason. They're not very good. We should go there today and we should steamroll them.
Neither was Swindon.
I know that. But it's time, sooner or later, that we have to... Don't have a sneaker 2. I think it's going to be a 2-1 before we do our predictions. And I think we'll probably
don't sneak a 2-1, but I think it'll be 2-1.
For once, get out there and let's steamroll them. 3 or 4-0. Like we did at Blackpool.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Amy?
We can't with one striker up front. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, one striker at Blackpool and we scored 4.
Have we exactly? Matt's bang on. Have we ever steamrolled anyone? When was the last time we had a massive win? I can't. We've had
Blackpool.
one high scoring one, haven't we?
Blackpool.
It was Black, yeah, or
That's
Doncaster.
right.
Well,
remembered.
reverse.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Fucking Doncaster. We haven't.
I'm afraid I can't do the bold prediction today because I don't see anything other than a 2-0 defeat. I'm really sorry.
Oh.
And I hope that I'm wrong, and I hope that you guys are giving me grief for it at the end of the game. But
Kev Ellis, 3-1 for me. Norwood 2, Edwards 1. Steve Bass has gone for Bolton's Kids 5-0. Last time we steamrolled somebody. Carl Day,
Yeah.
judged to score 7. Carl been on the beers early. Skip intro. We've steamrolled a few of our players' careers. Johnny Duncan. If we're the new manager,
know
we'd
who
win
that
4 or 5-0. The Fisherman's gone for a draw. Ever the optimist is our Fisherman. Matt Stannard 5-1 Town, and Nick Miller's gone 5-1 as well. I'm going to go.
You know what happened today if we win? You know what everyone will be saying? It's just papering over the cracks.
papering over the cracks, Lambert's lifeline.
Anybody out there as well who wants us to lose today and Lambert to go, you can
Phillips.
laugh as well because that's pathetic. You know, I want Lambert to go, but I want us to win today. And a new manager, if he comes in, for us to be in a good position, not 10th or 12th in the league.
You watch, we'll win, and then the season will get called off again, and Lambert will get to stay for another year.
I couldn't live with that. And I've been supporting them. I'm going to say 12 goals they've conceded, you say, Crunch. I'm going to say 1-0 Burton. It's got one of those, because you said they conceded 12 goals. That just almost guarantees we'll be blunt.
If we lose 1-0 to Burton, will we have a ceremonial burning of the Lambert picture you've got? Did you know now? Is it £2.50? It's gone down. It's been reduced, Martin.
Has it really?
I thought of him.
There you go. Well, come win, lose or draw, we'll be back at half-time and again at full-time. At full-time, we want to hear from you guys on the show. Anybody and everybody is welcome. The link will be pinned in the chat, or just ask for the link. I've said 1-0. Amy's gone for a defeat. Crunch is the only optimist. That is when you know the world is upside down.
Sorry, Matt Stannard. It's £2, not £2.50, the Lambert poster.
Michael Brown would pay £10 for a poster to burn if we lose today.
We'll do it when he gets sacked, Mike.
Stephen Parry give me £2.50 to burn it. All right, there we go. So we're done. We're dusted.
Stephen Parry, why don't you give your £2.50 to Martin? Drop it in the Ko-Fi link, and we're all a winner.
Yeah, everyone's a winner. Right, enjoy the match on the other side. Yep, we'll see you at half time.
Come on down. Come on.
3 points incoming. Pints and points.